All right, we have questions from the jurors. Can we take a break? Of course. And then there's a second question, have a juror with a medical issue, how do we proceed? I am inclined to inquire whether they believe further deliberations will be fruitful before we try to figure out what to do about the other stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you both agree?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay. Mr.
I agree with that.
Okay. Okay, it says you can take a break, but before you do you believe your continued deliberations are likely to result in a unanimous verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right, let them take a break, please. Tell them 15 minutes.
All right.
And,
The first one's
hold on a second. They want to, there's a juror with a medical issue that I need to address. So
to take back?
No, I want you to take them that note.
Right.
The juror with the medical issue needs to wait in the
Jury.
jury room, the rest of them can go. That note tells them that.
Did they respond to your question?
Yes, I'm sorry. They said that possibly on count 7, not on arrest, but I should have read it out loud. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the medical issue. I want to make sure that's not emergent. Did not think that it was, but they're real need of a break. It's the way that was communicated to me. So I won't let them do that. Mr. Bob, bring that last note back to me, please.
I'm sorry, I'll get it back.
Okay. Will you go to the room and take a break? And so I need that note and note what the medical issue is.
Is that juror still back there? You want me to send her out?
All right, so council, I'm sorry for not, this is the last note that I did not read. Number 1, yes, we do need a break. 2, it is possible to get on count 7, nothing else. The rest, no. We will need to address medical issue with 1 juror. Need a break first. Exclamation point. Okay.
Here's
You know
the
what
other
number
one.
we're on?
The ladies and.
Yeah, okay. Is it 10 and 11? Okay. I'm going to ask the juror with the medical issue to write that down for me so that they candidly have nothing to do with which juror it is. And we'll just do that. And
Find her.
while she's doing that,
Oh, good idea.
and I've just written, please share your medical issue. I don't want to bring you out unless necessary. Give that to her. Counsel, while we're waiting on that, what do we think on the deliberations?
As it relates to what?
Do you want them to continue? Are you asking me to declare a mistrial? So they told us they were deadlocked fairly quickly this morning. They were out a couple more hours. They watched 2 additional pieces of evidence. They were out another 30, 45 minutes after the second piece of evidence. The foreperson indicates the only movement is on 1 of the 7 counts, and that he characterized as possible, not on the other counts. Mr. Grew?
Judge, our position is we would ask the court to grant a mistrial in this case.
All right, Mr. Dwayne?
Well, we had an indication from regardless of what's happened in the past, now they're saying we might be able to reach an agreement at least at 1 count. But we also are waiting the note back from the ill juror, because if the ill juror has to be removed from illness, then we're starting back over again.
That would be, our position would be, of course, if young please, if one juror is to be removed, then they have to start completely over as to all counts.
Right. And then the question is, well, and I guess it depends on, this is a 7-count indictment. And my recollection is at least 6 of the counts were almost evenly split at the last discussion, including, give me that note back, please. And count 7 last time was an 11-1 count. So you're still, when we talk about are we making progress, that is where we are on that last count. I think it's necessary to hear from the other juror before we make a decision. Probably. Mr. Dwayne, is there something else you want to add on the record?
I am interested in what the response is from the juror.
Will you please step in there and ask her to just say the judge wants to know if you are able to continue? Well, never mind. Okay, let her take a break. Or him, whichever, that juror, I don't know. Counsel, if y'all step up, I don't see any need for this. All right, based on the information shared by this juror with regard to their medical issue, it is not something that the court finds at this point or that the juror is requesting would require substitution. They just needed a break. I think it was more to emphasize their need for a break than that there was a separate issue, which I didn't understand clearly. So the defense has made a motion for mistrial. Mr. Dwayne, I'll hear any comments you have.
At this point, Your Honor, if based on what they're telling us is accurate as to count 7 and the other counts, I don't see us going really anywhere meaningful at this point. So I think at this point the court probably should grant the mistrial.
All right, I think it is proper to do it with the jury present and for me to inquire on the record whether they're able to reach a verdict or not. So we'll give them a few minutes to get soda and come back up, and then we'll see what they have to say at that time, and barring any additional information, that's probably where we're at. But we'll let them finish their break, and we will wait and inquire at that point and go from there. All right?
Thank you.
So y'all just kind of hang out in here a few minutes while they're open to break, and then we'll go from there. All right. We'll stand in recess till, let's say, like, I told them to try to keep it to 10 or 15 minutes, so hopefully 5 or 10 minutes, because we've been talking.
All right.
All right, this is my proposed note. Do you believe further deliberations are likely to result in a unanimous verdict on all counts, some, or one count? Can you share the current count without telling me which way, just numbers? And I'll put as to each offense so that we have some idea of what we're dealing with. Because obviously we want a verdict if we can get one, but they have now essentially been out a significant time considering the time it took to present the evidence. And so before we ask them to come back on Monday, I need to make sure that we have done everything. Or before we send them home without a verdict, I need to make sure. So we want to make sure we're doing all the things.
And once again, we would stand by our motion.
All right. All right, and the answer to my first question, the answer is no. Do you believe further deliberation? Sort of like, then I asked for the current count. I think what they've done is give me the count on, well, I don't know what they've done. They've given me numbers, that don't add up to 12 on two of the counts. So I'm going to inquire further. So I just said on these counts, do you have a verdict or what is the math? Okay. No, I've not Okay, they have sent this note that the bailiff just handed me, says jurors have stated we will have the same result on Monday, no further deliberations are needed. So, based on that, I'm gonna declare a mistrial, and excuse this jury. If you will get the alternates and let me bring them in and just give them some final instructions, then we'll release them. I don't know what the release is. 13. Hang on to the alternates for me, okay? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've discussed, a verdict in a criminal case needs to be unanimous. As you are unable to reach one, I'm going to declare a mistrial in this case, and this will complete your service for the week. You can leave your buttons behind, leave your notepads in your chairs. You just tear those up and shred them. Nobody's going to read your notes or what have you. The clerk will have a check for you that will have a stub that will prove you were here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for your employer. If you need something additional, you can contact the clerk's office or my office and we'll let you do that. I told you about 50 times not to talk about the case or let anybody talk about it with you. At this point, you may talk about the case if you wish. You're not required to, but often the attorneys may want to know what you found persuasive or didn't find persuasive or what have you. So I always let you know that it is not improper anymore for you to talk to whoever you want to about this case and your service on it. You are, of course, in no way required to do so. Make sure you get all your personal items. Leave me my buttons so I can recycle them for the next group. And Mr. Davis will show you out. Mr. Bob will show you out the back door. Okay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Just leave them in the seat.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll pick them up.
Do you find them one?
All right. Did we set a date in the other one?
November sometime.
So that's going to be my first available for a retrial. The state will need to decide whether you want to retry this one on those dates or try the charge co-defendant if you're going to retry the matter. Just be thinking about that so we can get scheduled. This is the oldest case on my docket, so I'm going to be pushing to get it retried again, okay?
Will you issue an
All right.
order on the mistrial? Will you issue an order on the
I
mistrial?
will, and I'll do that before I leave. All right, let's stand in recess. Okay, and y'all, Miss Montgomery's deserting me, so if you need a transcript, tell her now.
All right.
Can you make sure she gets out to the court?